I got that yummy yummy too. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by today. I'm super excited because today I'm doing a video of all Morphe products, a full face, a full beat, this whole situation with Morphe. And now let's get on with this video. So first off, we're gonna start with the eyes, of course, because that is what I do, that is what I was trained to do, that's what makes sense for me to do, is my eyes first, so then I don't have to worry about making any kind of a mess on my beautiful foundation that I probably worked really hard on. So starting with primer, they do have a Morphe eyelid primer. I think it actually says eyelid primer right on it. And it is a clear base and it works just fine, but I actually am the type that prefers coverage on my veiny, very discolored looking lids. So I am gonna go in with their Fluidity Concealer. I think it's the Fluidity Concealer, it's the only one they have, so. Also, I'm going to be using only my Morphe brushes for this look. I have quite a collection, so I think I'll be all right. So I'm going to go in with an M173. It is this very dense ball type brush, which I love for any kind of smile lines, fine lines. That's what you want for this, because you can take your foundation, your concealer, your powder, whatever, and you buff it into those lines, and then you don't have any cracking. Your face looks freaking flawless. The M173. It's hard to find, so if you can't find it in the store, just ask for help and they will get it for you. Morphe has a ton of palettes to choose from, not to mention all the palettes that they have to choose from that are Morphe x some collaborator's name. So there is a lot to choose from, so let's start from the beginning. There are a lot of these type of palettes, which this one is the 35V palette. And it's dirty, but it looks a little something like this. And me personally, as a makeup artist here in Michigan, this is my jam. These are the kind of palettes that I want to have. They have hard covers, they snap together, they're protected. The colors are good, the pigments are good, the blendability is good. The color stories are generally good. Now, next up are the smaller sized palettes, like this one right here, the 9J, which is the palette that I plan on using today. I wanted to show you how their packaging comes because you guys, you get such bomb products for such a reasonable price. It's the same price as drugstore makeup now. Like if you look at Maybelline, L'Oreal, Rimmel prices, like they're all... It's the same prices that you buy Morphe for, so. Alright, so this is how it comes. You get it in a box and a bubble wrap. The box has all the information on it, but comes in a bubble wrap sleeve. And this is basically just like the 35V, but just smaller. This is the 9J called Just a Crush. And this is what it looks like when it comes. And look at that, you even get a mirror. And these are not, they're not light, okay? They don't feel like flingy, you know? They're weighted. And then you've got the little card that tells you what the names are. And I've already dipped into these two colors because I was like, I must play for just a minute. I need to play with this for just a second. Just a second. Anyways, this palette is so good to also have in your kit. Because there's so many looks that you could do just from this one little tiny thing. Alright, that's the palette we're going to use today. But I also wanted to show you a couple more. Now, this is one that is kind of a staple, I would say, in probably most makeup artists' kits. Like, especially if you do bridal and wedding and stuff like this, this is the one for you. If you're into neutral looks, natural, schmokey, you'd like this. Alright, so this has all your warm type of neutrals and then some funky glitters, and then you've got down here, you've got some shades, and here where you can add dimension to whatever look it is you're doing from this palette. So it's really cool. It's the only Jaclyn Hill product I have, other than a couple of her, let me see, it's right here. A couple of these little pencil brushes from her own personal Morphe x Jaclyn Hill line. This is it. This is all I have. Don't plan on getting any more. And then last, I just wanted to show this for the 1 millionth time. Not like, is there anybody on the planet that doesn't know what this is at this point? This is the Morphe x James Charles. This is the Morphe x James Charles palette. And I know that they just released, re-released this palette into a smaller version, which if I ever hit pan or need a new one of these, I would definitely get the smaller one because this is redunculous. Okay, so enough about the palettes that we're not going to use. Let's go back to the 9J Just a Crush. Is that what it's called, right? Yep, Just a Crush. All right, let's go ahead and start off with what I would deem they considered to be a transition shade. Let's do it. Okay, so that shade was called Will They. Is it like a proposal? Oh, I think it is. This is very like flirty, lovey-dovey. So, oh, it could totally be for bridal. Ugh. All right, next one I'm going to go in with is called Double Text. I'm not up with the lingo with you kids these days, let me tell you. I'm going to get my brush, the end of my brush all loaded up, and then we're going to diffuse her. All right, now's about the time we're going to go in with a nice clean brush, and this one is the 518 brush. And I got to tell you, I got a lot of these. Well, you know, I didn't even tell you what this one was. This was the M513 brush, and this one is just like the M518, except this one has a pointier tip, and this one has a more blunt, fluffier tip. They know what they're doing over there. Next up, I'm going to be using this brush. It is a Morphe lid buffing brush, but it's one that doesn't have a number from it because it's from one of their many collections. All right, we're taking that Double Text shade, same one we just used, and I'm just packing it on. Gonna grab a little bit of that original first shade and just use that to start buffing some of this color. All right, next shade I'm gonna go in with is Flustered. Girl, I hear that. On an M124 brush. Oh my god, that's so... Okay, look at it. Will the camera show at all like what it looks like in the pan? This one right here. Looks super boring, right? Yo, that was pretty. Then we're going to take the shade Butterflies right here on the same brush. One more shade, and we're going to do this one right here with the same brush. And this one is called Glance. And I can tell you right now, this one, she's got some fallout. Which is totally fine, because I'll just use my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And we'll be just fine. Cute. So now we just clean up our under eye and move on with the face. Now I don't have any primer on my face. I don't know if, does Morphe have a face primer? I'm sure they do. But for the life of me, I can't think of one right now, so I didn't get one anyways. But I did get their blending sponge, so I'm super excited about that because I've heard really good things about it. It says there was a lot of different like shapes and sizes, and this says that it's the highlight and contour, but it's got everything that I need. So it is what it is. I'm actually going to spray my sponge with some setting spray to moisten her up for a real one. And I'm going to be using the Morphe Fluidity Foundation in the shade F2.20 Matte. I'm going to go in with the M427 brush to start the application. Full coverage, my friends. Next, I'm going in with the concealer shade C1.35. And believe it or not, you guys, it's nowhere near their lightest shade, which is amazing. And it's like kind of a sticky consistency, which I appreciate in a concealer because for me personally, I want my concealer to kind of stay where I'm putting it, you know? Now I'm gonna try and do this part super fast. All right, now I'm actually gonna take the concealer shade that I did my eyes with in C2.35. I'm gonna do a little bit of natural contouring with this. Nice natural contouring. Next up, we are going to bake and set. This is the Bake and Set in the Banana shade, which, not ideal. They do have kind of like more of a translucent shade, but they were all out of it, so I'm making do with what I got. Now, before I set my laugh lines, I'm going to take my little brush that I was using, the M173, really press that foundation and concealer and all that cream stuff we just did. This is where all my cracking happens, is in my lip area. Yeah, now I can set and forget. All right, I'm gonna go back with my M427. Start beating this all off. What did I just say? All right, I'm gonna leave the under eye bake for a few minutes while we finish up the under eye, and I'll put some mascara and lashes on. I couldn't find any Morphe mascara, and I didn't buy any Morphe lashes, so I'll be right back. Next up is blush and bronzer, and Morphe has a lot of options, a lot of palettes where you can get blushes and bronzers and highlighters, or they have the adorable option of these tiny, so cute. They are so cute. They are these little minis. It is a mini bronzer and a mini blush. And the bronzer is in shade Debutante. And the blush is in the shade Spirit. All right, first we are going to bronze with this little cutie patootie. I find that to be absolutely stunning. Now I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to pinch it. And this is what I like to see from a bronzer, is one that I can actually bronze and do my contouring with, which just means that you can build on the color without it getting weird. You can't get that with every product. Next up is the blush, which I can already see has a sheen to it. The thing about sheeny blushes is you kind of have to put blush in an area where most of us would have texture. And so when you find a sheeny, shiny kind of type blush, most of us are kind of like, girl, bye. I'm not even messing with anything but a matte blush. But the truth is you can still use these blushes just in a different way. So instead of like sweeping it on like you typically would, because it's got a shimmer, what you might do is one of these motions right here. And for whatever reason, it keeps the sheen to a minimum when you stipple rather than sweep or anything like that. Okay, so I'm gonna set my face with the continuous setting mist, and I'm going to use this shade right here as my highlighter. And I forgot to tell you what this brush was for my blush. It is a M510. And then I like to set one more time before I do my lips. I think it's pretty safe to say that I love their lip liners. All right, for today's lip, I'm going to be using Wine Me, Zippy, and Bubble. To finish off the lips, I'm going to take this shade and make a cute little baby. And this is it, you guys. This is the final full face of Morphe look. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you feel like. You know the drill. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.